This kid is just because he is so popular. As soon as I arrived at the academy, I was chased by a group of senior sisters with sticks. As a result, it is conceivable that he was beaten into a toad by his senior sister. Just now, Lu Yan came to the robot academy to report. This idiot didn't take the usual path, jumping up and down in college. As a result, he saw an indescribable scene, but the other party also found him, so he was treated like a pervert. After a good reception, he was also arrested by the dean and let the dean deal with it. But the dean let monitor Yan let him go. This blows up Yan, but what the dean said next left Lu Yan dumbstruck, because the dean put him in Yan's class. Then the two bid farewell to the dean and went to Yanwu Field. When passing the square, Lu Yan couldn't help looking at the huge mecha statue full of curiosity. See him so curious, Yan told him about the origin of the statue. Legend: thousands of years ago, a huge beast suddenly descended on the world. The human race was powerless to resist and was almost wiped out by the beast. In the midst of despair, the fairy descended from the sky. Immortal gathering stars makes shell for Guyihan, coagulate the image of foreign origin. Kill the beasts one by one with supreme supernatural powers. After, the immortal left the soul jade that carried the image outside the body to the tribe, also taught the human race the secret method of cultivating the star soul. So far, the human race group has gradually become stronger. Time to millennia ago, the wise men in the human race imitate the supernatural means of the immortals, created a mass-produced mech, and the first dean was the old man chosen by Zhuoxi's Mecha. He drove Zhuoxi to build the Nanzhou for Tiandu Kingdom, this territory, and founded this Nanzhou Machine Martial Academy 400 years ago. Now his mecha has turned into Soul Jade, sealed in this statue, waiting for his next hero to appear. After learning about Zhuoxi's heroic deeds, Lu Yan was so excited that his eyes were filled with stars. Immediately go up to kneel and lick the statue of Zhuoxi. In the end, he was beaten again by Yan. Then he took him to the instructor's report. At the same time, after knowing that Song Yunxiang was not his enemy, San shared information about the organization with Song Yunxiang. According to information, Milan Kingdom is in the secret realm, found a technique to induce space rifts, and they intend to use this technology in the military. But I didn't expect that I fell into their ambush. It turns out that Milan Kingdom is playing tricks on everything. This makes sense. At this time, the sky in the distance suddenly thundered and flashed. Song Yunxiang secretly thought something was wrong. The spy of Milan Kingdom actually induced the space crack in advance, deliberately lure the beast to the robot academy, want to take the opportunity to steal the Zhuoxi soul jade in the statue. Song Yunxiang bid farewell to San in a hurry. Soon a mighty and domineering Lu Bu appeared in front of San. It scares him enough, only because that horse is a heavenly rank unlocked dragon horse. He immediately thought that Song Yunxiang was a student of the Mechanical Martial Arts Academy. Zhuoxi mechas have the ability to transform other mechas. Could it be that he is Zhuoxi's old friend? So San reminded Song Yunxiang to be careful. The spies of Milan Kingdom came here for Zhuoxi. Song Yunxiang couldn't wait to rush to the Jiwu Academy. He will never let the plot of the spy of Milan Kingdom succeed. A middle school boy accidentally walked into the wrong room. As a result, I saw a scene I shouldn't have seen. In a fit of rage, the beauty dragged him to a duel. I want to take the opportunity to beat him up. Unexpectedly, that kid was pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. In the end, the beauty lost to him. Just now, Yan brought Lu Yan to Yanwu Field. Instructor O seems to have the same heart with Yan, immediately let the two of them despise a game. Yan immediately showed an evil smile. He's going to beat that kid hard. Give way. Soon they put on mechas and went to the arena. Yan offensive, sharp move deadly. Lu Yan can only dodge in embarrassment. Instructor Cheng ridiculed Yan as bullying the weak. After all, they are two small realms apart. But Instructor O doesn't think so, because he saw that Lu Yan's steps seemed to be chaotic. Actually, avoiding Yan's attack just right every time, he guessed that Lu Yan was waiting for a chance to defeat the enemy with one move. It is indeed as Instructor O thought. Lu Yan knew that there was a huge gap in strength between him and Yan. The only chance is to find the right time to strike the enemy. Soon he found out Yan is not good at manipulating soul power radiation attacks. And Lu Yan's dodge angered Yan. He immediately used the strongest blow to Lu Yan. Immediately, countless electric arcs struck Lu Yan, and Lu Yan also seized this excellent opportunity. Just when everyone thought that Lu Yan, when you lose too badly, Instructor O announced that he won the game of despising Lu Yan. It turned out that his sword had pointed to the main sea of Han long AGO.AT this time, several space cracks suddenly appeared in the sky, and the next second, a few gluttons fell from the sky. Soon there will be students eating. The beam of light that spewed out was reduced to ashes, and the beam of light shot straight at the crowd. Crucial moment, Instructor Cheng drove the mech to block the beam of light. Instructor Ho immediately ordered all students to leave the battlefield. He Yan and Lu Yan, after the two escaped from the martial arts field, there was a glutton chasing them all the way out, and after leaving the arena, Tao Ye's speed suddenly increased. In desperation, He Yan let Lu Yan go first. He came to stop Tao Tai. While running away, Lu Yan hated himself for being useless. Why can I only watch others in order to save? Self-sacrifice. At this time, Lu Yan suddenly thought of the statue of Zhuoxi on the square. Maybe Zhuoxi can help me. If he picks me, then I can get Zhuoxi's power. Instructor and squad leader, please persevere. I'll be right back to save you guys. But when Lu Yan rushed to the foot of the statue, but saw a man standing on the shoulders of the statue, that person is holding Zhuoxi's soul jade in his hand. Who are you? Dare to steal Zhuoxi's soul jade? The man grinned. I'm Song Yunxiang. He was disgraced by the academy just because of his congenital soul defect, so that they give up on themselves and do all kinds of ridiculous things. Now he's back, just to make up for the mistakes I made. Song Yunxiang. When the fierce beasts of the Jiuyuan came, he rode a fire dragon horse all the way back to the academy. The feat of saving people from danger caught the attention of the dean. Also know, the mecha used by Song Yunxiang is the unparalleled combat power of Lu Bu, but still worried about the purpose of Song Yunxiang's move. Why did it happen at this time? Are you an enemy or a friend? And Song Yunxiang's sudden appearance also caught the attention of an old man, funny little guy, obviously only the cultivation base of the peak of Huangjie, but the dragon chrysanthemum can only be unlocked by Qi Tiangjie. Not bad. After Song Yunxiang rushed back to the Robot Academy, he immediately took out the soul rhyme of Zhuoxi from the statue. Just when he was about to copy the Zhuoxi soul jade, Lu Yan, who was desperate for strength to save others, bumped into. Lu Yan immediately asked who Song Yunxiang was. After Song Yunxiang reported his family, Lu Yan pondered for a while. Remember right away, Song Yunxiang is the man with the broken soul vein. But at this time Song Yunxiang had already appeared behind him. Song Yunxiang slapped him on the back of the head. Lu Yan immediately fell to the ground and passed out. According to Song Yunxiang's past life memory, Lu Yan was taken away in the Battle of Jiuyuan. Afterwards, it became the experimental subject of the people of Milun. Take number 0. The masked man appeared on the battlefield, invading the Tiandu kingdom, became one of them, finally die as a hero. Now you lost your chance to be a hero, but also exempt the pain of being caught as an experimental product by the people of Myron. From now on, you can be an ordinary student with peace of mind. After finishing speaking, Song Yunxiang ordered the system to copy the Zhuoxi soul jade, but the system replied that he could not copy the ownerless soul jade. Song Yunxiang had no choice but to put the soul jade into the system space. I can only wait to find a suitable host in the future. Copy again. After getting the soul jade, Song Yunxiang immediately wanted to rescue the instructor and classmates, but he controls Lu Bu. Suddenly appeared in front of them. It would be a loss of his humble and low-key style, so he constructed a student mecha. Without saying a word, he rushed to the martial arts field. At the same time, He Yan was fighting for life and death with Tao Tai. But he is no match for Tao Tai at all. Tao Tai slapped him 10 meters away. The powerful impact made him lose his ability to move immediately. Just when Tao Tai was about to eat him, gluttonous ass was hit by several sudden lightsabers. It turned out that the sneak attacker was Song Yunxiang, who came to rescue him. It is not acceptable to be disturbed while tasting delicious food. Immediately, it attacked Song Yunxiang at a pace of 258, but Song Yunxiang easily dodged Tao Ye's attack. Then came Song Yunxiang's bullying moment. After a while, Tao Tai was cut all over his body with wounds. He saw the right moment and jumped up, ready to give Tao Tai a fatal blow. But the next second he was dumbfounded. The swords used by the students were unable to pierce the Tao Tai. Hacked so many times just to tickle him. One-handed swords are so rubbish. The new main system allows me to construct a Fangtian halberd alone. Soon, a Fang Tianji appeared in Song Yunxiang's hand, but the picture of him holding Fang Tianji, but it seems a little nondescript, is the laughingstock of all the students in the academy, just because he was born with a weak soul. The soul power will be exhausted after fighting for 3 minutes. Now back with decades of fighting experience, slaying an extremely ferocious monster is like chopping vegetables. The class monitor and senior sister instantly became his little fans. Just now, Song Yunxiang was unable to kill Tao Tai because of using a one-handed sword, so he decisively replaced Lu Bu's Fang Tianji. It was a slash to the Tao Tai who came to die. Before Tao Tai could react, he had already touched. His mighty strength instantly suppressed He Yan. Until Song Yunxiang asked him if there was any aftermath. Just came back. I'm fine. Thank you for saving my classmate. Song Yunxiang waved his hand. Monitor, you are welcome. I'm going to help elsewhere first. Looking at the figure of Song Yunxiang going away, Han was obsessed. But he immediately remembered that he forgot to ask the other party's name. At the same time, dormitory area of Jiwu Academy. A group of people are huddling together to defend. At this time, Shangwan Yingqing, who was killed, suddenly rushed out. Let's kill the Tao Tai. Facing Tao Tai's sudden sneak attack, he can easily dodge it. Attacked by a group of gluttonous colleagues, he will be defeated. Just when Tao Tai was about to put him in his mouth to satisfy his hunger, Song Yunxiang arrived in time, sweeping thousands of troops with one move. I am about to kill the gluttonous glutton that Qing eats. Next, Song Yunxiang is like chopping melons and vegetables. After a while, Tao Tai was beheaded by him one by one. And Yingqing has long been deeply fascinated by the fierce man in front of her. I can't wait to marry him on the spot. At this time, Song Yunxiang stepped forward to help Yingqing up and asked him if he could still fight. Yingqing blushed and said she was fine. At the same time, I would also like to express my gratitude to Song Yunxiang. At this time, the system suddenly reminded Song Yunxiang that his soul power was insufficient. The mech will disarm the mech after 40 seconds. Song Yunxiang didn't dare to waste any more time. Next soon, rushing to the battlefield, everywhere he went was when Tao Tai died. Seeing the arrival of rescuers, everyone hastily formed a formation to fight back, but they found that there was one more person behind them. It turned out that that person was the one who followed Song Yunxiang to lead him here. Song Yunxiang is still fighting alone. One Luoyu slash kills a large group of gluttons in seconds, and they can only slash and kill around a big injustice glutton. After this fight with the beast, Song Yunxiang had a new idea to save soul power, that is to improve the student machine, find an opportunity to implement it after this damp is over. At this time, there are only 3 gluttons left on the battlefield, and Song Yunxiang and Li Xingjie only have 6 seconds left. With his hands up and down, he solved the 2 in front of him. Followed by a dive. Just shoot Fang Tian halberd at the last Tao Tai in the distance. In an instant, Fang Tianji hit him. At this time, Song Yunxiang stepped on Fang Tianji with 1 foot from Tian'er. Tao Tai then repeatedly died on the spot. Everyone sighed. The man in front of me is too strong. But the next second they were dumbfounded, because this person is the trash Song Yunxiang in their mouths. This is such a romantic and warm picture, but they're not a couple. And each other has ghosts in their hearts. The man only wants to copy the girl's mecha, then solve the girl on the spot. The girl is thinking about how to get the man home. Just after Song Yunxiang easily dealt with the beast, and his soul power was also exhausted. Then he showed his true face in front of everyone. Everyone was surprised. They never thought. The fierce man just now turned out to be Song Yunxiang, and the dean also showed a look of shock. He couldn't help but admire Song Yunxiang's hidden good voice, but he suddenly remembered. The weapon used by Song Yunxiang is Fang Tianjie. Immediately thought of driving Lu Bu. The person in the mecha is also Song Yunxiang. Legend has it that Zhuo Xi can change his shape at will. Could it be that this kid has become Zhu Xi's resident? After the damp, this kid needs to be captured and tortured. At the same time, everyone on the battlefield also took off their mechs one after another. I plan to recover my soul power right where I am. At this time, Song Yunxiang had already refined the star-gathering formation. Just when he was about to hand over the star-gathering formation to everyone, Yingqing suddenly appeared in front of him with a shy face. Brother Song, thank you for saving me just now. I'm Shangwan Lust in Class 3, after learning the other party's name. Song Yunxiang's expression froze. This crazy woman is Long Chia's host. In the decisive battle between Tiandu and Milun 5 years later, their Shangwan family defected and put him in danger several times, if it wasn't for the help of the new master system in the previous life. He died long ago at the hands of this crazy woman. Thinking of these, Song Yunxiang immediately grabbed the lewd hand. Pull him in front of you. So there was the opening scene. With a soft ding, the system prompts that copying Soul Jade failed. The target person is detected as holding a Soul Jade. Only then did he remember, now Qing has not obtained the Dragon and Soul Jade. Calculation based on time. The time he got the Soul Jade should be 10 months later. Song Yunxiang immediately let go of his hand, apologized to him with a silly smile. Nymphopornography. I thought Song Yunxiang was attracted by his beauty, that's why I'm so excited about him, in order to allow myself to get the dragon. And Song Yunxiang took out a soul-renewing pill for Yunxiang to take. He doesn't want to meet the bride and hang up now. Seeing that Song Yunxiang has such good products, the instructor also came up to ask him for. Song Yunxiang hastily said that there are not many left, although there is no extra soul renewal pill, but I've prepared a constellation for everyone. Following Song Yunxiang tossing the talisman into the air, a cluster of stars is instantly generated. People feel it right away. Soul power absorption speed increased by 5 times. Then Song Yunxiang bid them farewell, fly up and rush to the martial arts arena. And Yunxiang hastily followed like a plaster. 3 days ago, it was still scum in everyone's eyes. After 3 days, he turned gorgeously into a strong boss. Even the instructors want to worship him as a teacher. The reason for such a rapid change, it's because he's reborn. According to the memory of the previous life, Song Yunxiang knew the date when the Jiwu Institute was affected by the tide and broke out, so set up the slow speed in the martial arts field and advance beasts formation. And the instructors, because of the existence of formations, to be able to hold on until now, but Tao Tai seems to know their speed will be weakened in the martial arts training ground. Therefore, they all withdrew from the martial arts field and changed to long-range attacks. At this time, a beam of light directly pierced Tao Tai, who was standing on a high place. That's right, it's Song Yunxiang who came, and Tao Tai also reacted immediately, unanimously launched an attack on Song Yunxiang. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang immediately poured soul power into his feet, dodged Tao Tai's attack by relying on agility, and flashed up to them to kill them. This scene made Instructor O feel unbelievable. He sighs. This person relies on a little soul power to maintain the radiation under his feet. Glide down and walk in a suspended state with subtle agility. This skill is simply amazing, and that giant weapon, it seems to be born to kill beasts. But Song Yunxiang's next operation surprised Instructor O even more, because he resorted to the agility of suspense. 7 steps, then he jumped again, take advantage of the trend and draw a falling moon slash towards Tao Tai. Tao Tai was packed away in an instant. At this time, Instructor O was no longer calm. Who is this strong man, can actually use the original blood machine to use it. Stepping on the star 7 steps and falling moon slash. However, Song Yunxiang only focused on killing the beasts, totally no idea. I have become a big boss in their eyes. With Fang Tianji's blow, it fell. The Tao Tai in the martial arts field was beheaded to death by him. Seeing the boss, he solved more than a dozen gluttons in a blink of an eye. Instructor Cheng has the idea of apprenticeship to this big guy. At this time, Yunxiang came to the martial arts arena out of breath. Song Yunxiang, can't you wait for others? Everyone was shocked. This mighty big guy, it was Song Yunxiang. At this time, Song Yunxiang Yixingjia's mecha appeared in front of them. Instructor Cheng has a look of disbelief. The boy who disappeared for 3 days suddenly became so strong, but he immediately dismissed the idea of apprenticeship. Then he questioned Song Yunxiang, where has your kid been running these days? It's not that the soul vein is incomplete, so you can barely fight for 3 minutes, right? Better tell me the truth. Song Yunxiang spread his hands and smiled. Silly instructor, look. Doesn't it automatically resolve itself when the time comes? Although Song Yunxiang was explaining how to deal with. But I'm thinking, this time the pile construction time has been increased. It seems the body is adapting to the restoration of the soul veins by the rebuilding pill. But the keen Instructor O discovered that Song Yunxiang maintained the pile construction for a full 5 minutes this time. Think he's pretending to be damaged. What is the attempt to hide the strength and infiltrate the academy? Just as Song Yunxiang was laughing heartily, thinking about the test of coping. Suddenly a mech fell from the sky. What did this student do? Surprised the dean to come to see him in person, and also turned on the sound insulation array so that no one else can hear the conversation between them. Just now, Song Yunxiang is thinking how to answer Instructor O's question. At this time, the dean suddenly fell from the sky. The 2 instructors couldn't care less about continuing to question Song Yunxiang, hastily disarmed the mecha and saluted the dean. Although the dean expressed his gratitude to Song Yunxiang for his rescue, but he also wants to hear Song Yunxiang regarding hidden strength. How to explain? Song Yunxiang suddenly showed embarrassment. I don't know if I should mention the new main system. The dean in front of me is an enemy roommate. Yet to say, seeing Song Yunxiang, the dean seemed to have something to hide. He immediately clicked on the light brain to activate the sound insulation array. Then you went to Song Yunxiang. This scared Song Yunxiang enough. Back subconsciously, you hide your strength and sneak into the hip-hop theater. The purpose is to go to prison for Zwutzi, right? Stop pretending. Have you become Zosai's roommate? I saw the Red Lubu Mecha in Shiching District. That's what you transformed with Zosai, yes or no? I heard that Zosai has the ability to transform. Song Yunxiang was frightened stupid on the spot. In his previous life, he didn't know that Zwutzi had this ability. Moreover, according to the records of Tiandu Kingdom, Zwutzi not only has the ability to transform, there are also abilities and moves that imitate other mechs. Even the legend, Zwutzi can also hide the true strength of the new Soul Master, so the cultivation you show now. It is also one of the evidences of Zwutzi's residence. Song Yunxiang thought to himself. Even the dean mistakenly thought that he was Zwutzi's old friend. Then just make a mistake. Awesome, Dean Gu. I hid it so well that you saw through it. That's right. The Zwutzi Soul Jade was indeed obtained by me. After seeing Song Yunxiang voluntarily admitting, the dean immediately showed a tricky expression, immediately discussed the deal with Song Yunxiang. Otherwise, Song Yunxiang will be charged with treason. The original mecha is different from the mass production machine, the Soul Jade inheritance of each original mecha. Need to record. If unauthorized, it will be regarded as a violation of Tiandu country's mech management regulations. If Song Yunxiang chooses to trade, I will help you apply for record, but if you refuse, you know the consequences. Song Yunxiang was forced to have no choice but to agree. Seeing that Song Yunxiang agreed, the dean immediately turned on the light, and it shows that the damp outbreak is very likely to be man-made. 3 suspected induction devices have been found so far. Core position of a Tianjia master has already rushed there in Dongqing District. I will personally lead the team to Nanqing District. Now I need you to go to Beiqing District to rescue the second prince, the representative of the main combat faction of the second Prince Tianzihai royal family. According to the rumors in his previous life, he seems to have died from this dampness, but the public cause of death was the assassination of the Taiyuan assassin. As a result, Ah-san was also named as a wanted man, but Taiyuan will only prevent the human race from fighting. How could it be possible to initiate a war? Is it another conspiracy by the Kingdom of Milan? Have you ever seen such a clingy goblin? Just because the man grabbed his hand when he was excited, he just runs after that man all day. Now it's like a plaster. Hold on to that man, just now. The dean activated the soundproof array to talk to Song Yunxiang. Unexpectedly, Qin hacked into Dean's system, broke the formation, so I know that Song Yunxiang is Wuxi's old friend. Now he has to firmly grasp Song Yunxiang, a big fish. At the same time, under the coercion and temptation of the director, Song Yunxiang, I had no choice but to agree to the principle to rescue the second prince, Tianzihai, also wondering if Asa will be there, so he immediately took out the soul-renewing pill and took it, then won. Lu Bu riding a dragon torch appeared in front of everyone. This frightened the instructors and classmates silly on the spot. Just when Song Yunxiang bid farewell to everyone, the lust suddenly appeared. Without further ado, it's enough to put on the mecha and jump on the fire dragon horse. Hey crazy woman, get down, overloaded. But Qin still hugged Song Yunxiang tightly. Song Yunxiang had no choice but to let him follow. Better than him accidentally kill yourself. Looking at Song Yunxiang, who has gone away, the dean suddenly muttered to himself, I hope my rhetoric can help you fool other people, and the secrets in you will be discovered by me. Along the way, be courteous and crazily spawn monsters and pull hatred. Song Yunxiang had no choice but to go on his way while wiping his butt. He really convinced this crazy woman, then tell him not to make trouble for himself. Now they are rushing to save lives. Only then did Qin recover from the madness, repeatedly apologized to Song Yunxiang. And explain yourself as soon as you enter the battlefield. I can't hold back the urge to kill. Song Yunxiang was also left speechless by his hobby, but it's just right to use him as a tool. Man, by the way, Miss Shangwan, wait, if we encounter a strong enemy, I will hold the enemy. Senior sister, can you help me get something? Lin Qin agreed to Song Yunxiang without thinking. At the same time, the situation of the second Prince Tianzihai, the matter is at stake. The guard commander beside him was seriously injured and was about to die. Originally, Tianzihai had already received the information. Spies from the Kingdom of Milan sneaked into the Dome City to make trouble, but he wants to put a long line to catch big fish, trying to find evidence to convince my father to go to war. But I don't want to fall into the trap of the enemy. Instead, put yourself in danger. also harmed the residents of Yuanding City to suffer along with him. At this time, the guards yelled in horror. Another group of murderers came. They immediately took up positions against the enemy, but I didn't expect the beast that appeared this time. It turned out to be Yunxiang with heaven-level combat power, and then they discovered a huge black shadow appeared on the other side, facing the flanking guards of two powerful enemies. The guards did not dare to drag, hastily asked the mate to leave with the second prince. It's up to them to stall for time and block the enemy, but the King Tianzihai discovered the other side is not the breath of the beast. Maybe that shadow is not the enemy, maybe it's the reinforcements that came to help. At this time, Yunxiang also roared at the huge black shadow.